I'm going to go south of Poland to a very small little country, Austria.
Oh, I almost had them on my list.
Yeah?
I almost had them. But tell me about Austria.
The last 11 years has been dominated by Red Bull Salzburg. This should be no surprise to any football fan, though. Yeah. Constantly making Champions League appearances and sometimes, honestly, doing very, very well, considering the budget that they have, the players that they have at their disposal. Salzburg is such a well-run club in Austria. But what's crazy, for the last 2 years, not including this one, the last 2 seasons, in second place has been Sturm Graz.
Okay.
And they've been trying to do the impossible and take down the mighty, mighty Red Bull Salzburg. There was like a 15-point gap 2 years ago, but last year they shortened it to like maybe 8 or 9. This year, right now,
tell me something good, man.
It's a 2-point gap.
Okay.
It is a 2-point gap, but there's still like 10, maybe 12 games left to be played, right?
Are they 2 points up or 2 points behind?
They're 2 points behind.
God,
Salzburg still have a lead, but it's only 2 points.
Okay.
And here's what's really interesting about Sturm Graz too is if you watch them play, they're actually playing really good football, man.
Yeah.
If you're a Sturm Graz fan, like you got to be really proud of the progress that this team has made over the last couple seasons, because if you thought you were close a couple seasons ago getting second place continuously, this is your best season right now. Mm-hmm. You were playing the best football that you've played. You just beat Slovan Bratislava in the Europa Conference League 5-1 on aggregate. 5-1. They now have a round of 16 matchup to be played over the next couple of weeks.
Beautiful.
Sturm Graz making a deep run in the Conference League, beautiful to see. But once again, there's some really good players on this team. Some players that I would like to highlight. Left midfielder / left wing back Alexander Bras, Austrian. I believe he's like 22, maybe 23 years, so he's pretty young.
Yes.
Really technical player, very committed, very athletic. But what I just love his IQ. He's really smart on the ball, and he plays a very silky type of play from like a wing back position.
Okay, I like that.
Really cool to see. And it's funny because when you look at the rest of the squad, they actually have some players on loan from huge teams. There's a Liverpool goalkeeper that's at Sturm Graz right now. There's also an Atletico midfielder that's there.
Oh,
interesting. They have a Brighton player. They have an Arsenal player as well. They've been very active in trying to build a really competitive team. Most of the players are their own, though.
Good.
And that's
That
where
makes
they
me
really
happy.
do shine. But yeah, a really exciting time for Sturm Graz. It's going to be very, very difficult, obviously, because Salzburg just do not lose 11 straight titles. But if there is a team to do it, and if there is a time, it is now, and it is Sturm Graz.
The Red Bull Salzburg reign has been brutal.
Brutal, man.
Brutal, man. It has been a decade, if not more, of just a complete onslaught that this Red Bull Salzburg team has imposed upon the opposing sides. And when you think about it, man, when you think about the warriors that went through Austria, when you think about just the killers out there, Erling Haaland at one point went in there, got a trophy, got out. Sadio Mane at one point made an appearance, got in, got out. Soboslai. Brendan Aronson was there too.
He was.
These great players went to Austria, signed for Red Bull Salzburg, and got what they wanted and left, while the rest of these Austrian teams had to endure loss after loss after loss, dude. The Red Bull Salzburg reign has been brutal, man. Brutal. And so I'm scared. I'm scared because when it comes to overthrowing an institution like Red Bull Salzburg, it's gonna take a village. It's gonna take a country to back this side that I can't even pronounce right now. It's just people know who I'm talking about. Yeah. What's the name?
Sturm Graz.
Okay, yeah. It's gonna take a village. It's gonna take a country to support this team. But I think it's there. You got me really interested now. I'm going to watch these games.
We all should.
We should.
Yeah.
We should, because this is massive for what it could mean for, even Champions League implications, man. Yeah. It'd be insane to see this team actually in the UCL instead of Red Bull Salzburg. And what ultimately does make me happy about this is that we've highlighted in the past, and it's been an occurring narrative for myself, and I believe you agree with me on this too, that Austria's national team is a team that's on the rise. So it's no surprise to me that we're seeing now more teams than just one, start to have a shot at the title here with, more competition and more better players being formed at the homegrown level that teams like the one that you just mentioned are bringing up and highlighting and, using as actual pieces to contend for the title. I think this is great for Austrian football in general, for Red Bull Salzburg to actually have some competition. It's just a big thing that's at stake now with Red Bull Salzburg potentially losing out on a title for the first time in 11 years.
I'm just going to be so stoked if there's, even 8 games left in the season and it's within 5 points. I'll take that. I will take that. It's going to be really, really difficult. Austria employs a championship group where they take half the league and split it after a certain number of games. Sturm, Graz, and Red Bull are already in that. Okay. And once that portion starts, that's when we're really going to see what Sturm Graz is made of. This is it, though. If there is a team in Austria to dethrone Red Bull Salzburg, it is them. And I do like that point because Austria is on a bit of a rise. Not even just with the league, but with their players. Everyone's informed. They're all pretty young, either between the ages of 20, 24, or they're in their prime playing really good football all across Europe. And it's players like Alexander Pras who has just hit the scene, but it's because he's with a really good team that's not Red Bull Salzburg playing in Austria. It's really cool to see, and honestly, I expect a player like him to get called up very soon because he's playing really, really good football, and that just adds to the story that Sturm Graz could have. What's crazy is that they actually won it somewhat recently before this dynasty that Salzburg have created. They won it back like in 2011 or 2012. So it's been like a 12, maybe 13-year difference since the last time that they won. But hey, to bring it back, especially after what Salzburg have done, would just be immense for a club like Sturm Graz.
Damn, imagine what could happen. Imagine it.